All right, people, welcome back. Today, the 26th of August, 21. Okay, things, that we all have seen on the news, so we all have a mutual, you know, somewhat reality on those things, right? Life, okay? We're going to call those things life, those unpleasant things like the evacuation. It's getting done, actually. The evacuation, the COVID problem, the climate change, the fires, the floods, and immigration, those areas, right? Piled on top of trying to run a government or something, or we run our lives. Okay, here's the good news. This will surprise you. It's so, you're going to find out you can actually do what I'm going to claim. And it's so simple. It's stupid simple. Yeah, wait till you hear what it is. You can become vaxxed from the virus of life. A lifeguard, the life vax. You can get vaxxed from life. Not for life, from life. You see? Yep. You can do that. Because see, really life, let's just look at a group, the state you're in, or the country. Okay, a country is just a bunch of individual people, right? Right. What if each of those were suddenly kind of similar in a way? They're all different by their decision to be and then what to do and what to have. Okay, but let's just say they're all similar in a way. They got rid of all of the things that were, let's just say, are stuck to them, and they don't realize it. But that cause a wrongness once in a while, a doingness that isn't good once in a while, to people that otherwise, darn well they're good. Like you, me, we, they, us. We're all good underneath. A discovery someone made. Well, why should someone else have to discover something about you and I? Right. The basic is, all beings are basically good. Originally. How can they be bad before they decided to be? Makes sense, right? We talked about that the last time. Sorry, we're moving our mask. It's fashionable to have a COVID mask. That's not why we're wearing it. No, we don't wear those. Wearing it because we had a wreck. We had doing sport activities, elective, but choice, not karma. Dumb. So we're waiting for the dental work and sparing you the great look of that. You see? So, vax, you could become vaxxed from life, from the virus that life is, using popular terms. Yeah, you can. Each person, but it's one at a time, evolves. Maybe the pace could pick up a little more quickly. This is going on, by the way. This is going on, yeah. See, there are 7.3 billion people on the planet, roughly, right? And a very small percent know about the thing I'm going to tell you about and have done this thing, right? There's still a few million. Yeah, you're vaxxed for life. The individual. Life is made up of a bunch of people. A country is individuals, right? And each has, as you see, by your neighbors, your family, and yourself, their own things going on. Some more, some less, some this or that, right? We're talking very simply because you're going to find out what I'm going to show you is simpler than I'm describing. Yeah, you're going to laugh. You can get rid of things that aren't you. There's a thing available that's called negative gain. When you're winning with this, to win is to gain. It's the gain of getting rid of something that isn't you. And all too often, quite often, these things we're not aware of. You recall, you can think of somebody who's really done kind of well, a normal, sane person that you've known, a friend, family, associate, someone in government, right? And then they go to things not so good, right? Right. Well, I mean, it's the doingness that they are doing, right? You aren't, they are. But the fact is, the whole fact is, there are layers of life that they are not aware of. They are their layers, but they are not the layer. No, and by the way, you're never what you do. Do something good, get credit, not good, fix it to the best of your ability. But are you what you do, really? If you make shoes, are you the shoes? No, I mean even a good batch of shoes. Are you the shoes? Really? Yeah. And speaking of truth, well, truth is non-denominational. Is that a Catholic car, Protestant car, blah, blah. Anyway, so back to this vax for life. You can actually get rid of your layers of life. We'll get to it. Oh, this isn't something new, God. No, this is something great. God. you can get rid of things that aren't you, and then, because until you do, new things in life, the crummy parts, pile on and it becomes more. The old things that you don't know are there are actually gluing together with new things. Yeah. Once you get rid of the whole junk of the old things, there's nothing for the new things to stick onto, one way of putting it. But you'll see there's a very specific thing that you can do. People have done it. And only the self knows, my gosh, I feel good. But again, to handle a country, ideally and literally, is to handle each person in it. Well, only a small percent are kind of doing wrongs that you consider wrong, and then some maybe a little less than that, and then, yeah. But the being is good underneath. Getting to this point for a second, the being is always good underneath. He was basically good, originally good. Again, how can you be bad before you decided to be? You see? Well, if you're good, basically, meaning originally, and also the basis of you underneath is good, then you're still the same person. And as one goes through life, just show you a little comment on things that you recognize, and we'll get to the vaccine. No, we're going to deliver what we promised. Vax from life, from the life junk. So, because we're good underneath, should we ever do something that isn't quite good, quite right, we will disagree. We'll object to our own not quite rightness that day, that whatever. Sometimes we're in a corner stuck, or made a mistake and whatever, or misunderstood something and thus took a wrong direction on it, whatever. Yeah. But we will disagree with our own wrong stuff and play a game against the self. We'll get ill, injured, etc. And as he goes on to say, the person that put all this together, you are always your own worst executioner, far worse than anyone else would be. Wow. By the way, if something is good, is it bad? Yeah. Oh, there's always a small percent. Even Einstein, the great guy besides mathematics, right? In the theory of relativity, he said, a negative person will always find a problem with every solution. Put a pollution to the solution. And the good news is only a small percent are that way. But one of their ways of controlling is to make you think that the world is that way. They deal in sweeping generalities. Everybody knows all this, all that, everything's bad. That pins you to them. We'll get to that later. It's in fact in a book. See, it looks like a philosopher with the Greek columns in the back. That book is a killer book. And a lot of that book, killer parts, are actually online free. Free courses online. This is a nonprofit that has. Somebody did some incredible homework and then gifted these things to a nonprofit, and for ethical distribution. And ethics were the most difficult part. A small percent, the organization is not perfect. He said, tell your friends this. He should tell them it's a workable system. Don't tell them it's the perfect system. Just tell them it's the workable system. It may be the most workable system, but don't tell them it's perfect. Why? Because we build the world with broken straws. We aren't all vaxed yet. You see? I'll show you what that means, borrowing today's term, but it literally is. No fooling about it. So until then, but some people jumped up and stepped up and decided to help others and work at these places I'm going to tell you about. Maybe they weren't perfect yet. Biden in the limelight, they're going to say he isn't perfect. No, Trump wasn't. Oh, Reagan, boy, you're getting close to it there. Oh, well, I knew these people. And Reagan and both Bushes and Giuliani a bit, and Bloomberg. Some of these people had the fun of meeting, having dealings with on a non-political basis, so just a sort of a helping basis. Actually, what we're doing right now, they got some of what I'm going to give you. Yeah. Yep. So, guys, you can get vaxxed from life. There's two things. There's a counseling available to unpeel life's layers. That gets you out of the mud, and then the training will enable you to not go back into the mud. Yeah. And for right now, until you can get the counseling, whoa, don't worry about it. You can do a little bit of the training free online, or take a class live, whatever. And even online, there's a live terminal to walk you through it. Yeah. Oh, yeah, this is for real. Nonprofit. Yeah. So, you can get vaxxed, because you see the accumulated stuff, and it's especially the parts that we are not aware of. Again, that attracts other things to it, and it builds up and up and up. For example, when you get a counseling session, so you can go and buy this counseling from this place. Hey, they'd rather have you take a class and counsel a friend, and a friend counsels you, than to sell you the counseling by the hour. Absolutely, take the course, because then you can counsel each other. Oh, it's a very precise thing. There's nothing schlocky or loose about this. But you can counsel each other, but you also are trained to not have the stuff build back up. Yeah, for example, in counseling, there are 4 things that you can consider that bother you. We call those the 4 flows. Flow 0, or first flow, call it flow 1. You go into a counseling session if you want to, and handle the area that you want. Might be about mothers, fathers, brothers, sisters, associates, whatever. Okay, so let's say you want to handle something. They'll ask you a question about that, and you'll get rid of the incident, and you'll feel better. Okay, but they will also ask you, was there an earlier similar time? They won't tell you. They don't know. I don't know how your day went today. No one knows how your day went. Okay, good. But anyway, one comment about this, all it does, all it can do, all it does is enable you to find out things that you already knew. We'll get to what it is in a second. Don't worry about it. It's just your life on the line here, so I thought we'd walk it through my way. Yeah. Enough interest so that you get it and you're bulletproof. Oh, you'll like it. It can't hurt you. You aren't hurt so far. You're about to get real unhurt. Not knowing you were being hurt. Wow, I didn't know that. Some of you know, but some of you don't. So flow 1, you get rid of things done to you. But also, if there are any earliers on the chain, because unless you get to the basic on the chain, you can get rid of things off the top. You'll feel better. You'll feel better. Like Catholics go into a room and you talk to the screen and you tell the priest, "Dear Father, for I have sinned." You tell sins, things you've done wrong. You feel better. It unburdens the soul. Oh, yes, it does. Yeah, it does. No, I'm not a Catholic, but yes, it does. What's wrong with saying something is good? It's very good. But no, it's very incomplete for 2 reasons. One, then those guys have you turn responsibility over to a tree or Jesus or somebody, rather than, you know what, I got to go knock on the neighbor's door and say, sorry, I hit the ball through the window and I don't have any money, so I'll mow the lawn for you. Something, whatever. You got to handle your stuff, not have someone else handle it. No. Anyway, the point is, they do a good thing, the Catholics. They get rid of some things off the top. Bless them. They don't have this. So what? They do something good. Good. Good is good. Yeah, I like good. So this thing, so you get the basic on the chain, then the whole chain blows, because if not, you only got part of the thing gone, and more will build up onto the chain. So they know what they're doing. So flow 1, get rid of things done against you and any earlier similars, okay? These are the 4 components of the load that we carry. This is very scienced out, believe me. Flow 2, come up to the level of, might there have been anything that I might have done to another? They don't know. They have to ask you. Right. Oh, yeah, I did that. Okay, good. Then you get rid of that. By the way, he says, when you get to the point, when a person gets to the point where they can tell their own wrongs, they have made it on the bridge to total freedom. Fully vaxxed. Okay? I'm making up the term. Okay, good. So flow 2, get rid of things done against you. That you've done against another or others. And in any earlier similars, if there are some, they don't know. That's only you know. Flow 3, things might hurt you. That would be seeing others harm others, like a war or a fight. Get rid of those, okay? And then the 4th flow, things the self has done to the self. The first flow is others doing things to you. The 4th flow is others. Is the self doing things to the self. Sometimes we call it flow 0. Flow 1 is done against you by another. Flow 2, might you've done something against another or others. It's part of life. By the way, most wrongs weren't done because somebody was evil. They were done to solve a problem. We knew it was wrong, but we were not evil. And you're not what you do. The funny thing is, you get rid of this junk in session, in a counseling session, right? Listen to me. Listen. And you find out you're not bad. No. Those things weren't good, and you feel a ton better getting rid of them, right? If there's a thing that has to be handled, follow up if it's money owed or whatever, or fix a car or whatever the thing is, it doesn't matter. But you feel great because you're not bad. You get sorted down after a while. Okay, good. Because you know what's wrong with you. You realize that, don't you? You know those thoughts, yeah? Did some things, so something wrong? Really? You know what's wrong with you? Nothing. There's nothing wrong with you. Things we do, now those might be another topic, but there's nothing wrong with you. You don't have a disorder. No. They actually have now mathematics disorder, fear of spiders disorder, jet lag disorder, being a child disorder, climbing disorder, really. Yeah. Well, life is a disorder. You aren't. Life is in those ways we've mentioned that you know about. You could probably tell me more than I can tell you. Well, first of all, you're the only one that can tell yours. I keep repeating that, don't I? Yeah, it's called your truth. You don't need someone else telling you your things. Oh, God, no. Okay, so now people, so that's being vaxxed for life, okay? Vaxxed for life. I'm having that. The Facts of Life, that was the show, wasn't it? Okay, beautiful vocals on there. Weren't they something? The girls that sing. I like vocals, solo. Okay, so vaxxed from the virus of life. Yeah. We'll get to those other topics in Washington. That is another topic. Let them handle those for now. We're talking about you. If you have done this vaccine, get out of the mud, get rid of the mud, right? And then train to not go back in. But before you do the counseling, get counseling. No, free for the first key part of it, yeah. It is free. The upper levels, we'll tell you about those. No, those you'd have to pay for. You'll want to. No, I didn't say I'd be telling you to do it. No, you will want to. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you'll be able to afford them. Don't worry. Yeah. It's kind of a permanent thing. Yeah. But the amount of vaccine you can do free to each other, get a twin on course that you'll work well with. You can always change. You can do a different one. Yeah, come on. And you'll like it. Yeah. Now, interesting, I'll tell you what's weird. I found this out from a woman I knew. A guy at Harvard, told the girl, and the girl told me it wasn't part of it. It was told on campus, okay? And she was worried I was involved in it. And the more she knocked it, put it down, the better it sounded. Yeah, I'm telling you. Yeah. But she had a suppressive person in her life running a can't have on her, and she was running a can't have on me. And this is a very, very good person. She just goofed up, but she made sure I found out about it, didn't she? Yeah. And you don't get into this thing. No. It gets you out of things you didn't know that you're into if you want to, with the how-to and the can-do. Yeah. There's a saying, half the gains come from the counseling, getting rid of the junk. The other half is the training. You become an animal, and it's simpler than, of all the things I've seen in school, high school, and then college, and some big Midwestern college, and then in Cambridge, at Harvard, for fun, for a while. I mean, of all the things I've seen in the schools, and they were good. If it was math you had to learn, then it was good. In engineering, if that's your thing, or law, or medicine, or mechanics, I like that. Fixing cars, whatever. Yeah. Counseling, whatever your thing is, those things they taught, they were good in that area, but they didn't teach this, the vax of life. Not life, fun life. No, that's the fun part. When you go into counseling, we aren't looking for pleasure moments. We're looking for things that are very unhappy. Yeah. I can tell you stories. See, one of the things that Buddha, remember Buddha, the Thomas Siddhartha, right? Tubby little person, right? He was well known for one thing. He enabled the common person. Now take it easy now. Don't blame me. Buddha, check it out. And you've heard about this. The common person can get outside his body a few feet. Wow! What? I'm not that thing? I'm not anything? I can't die? That's a big thing to become. No. You don't become that. That's what you are. But Buddha didn't have a method back then to unpeel life's layers, so people snapped back in to the layers that were holding them in. You see? Been a while since, Now, it never happened to me. I was never outside the body. I was jealous. Some people recall things from a past life. Well, that means they had a body prior to this one, or other bodies, whatever. You know, you might have known some of that. Maybe not. It's your life. Don't let anybody take something of yours, by the way. Don't do that. No. So the vax for life, I just came up with a term today. I thought it was kind of funny because it really is true. They're trying to vax you for a virus, right? Well, I've listened to a lot of doctors, actual humans, you know. They aren't fighting science. They're trying to fight the lies. You know, this getting people just a little bit on the COVID thing. Getting healthy people to be afraid of healthy people. That's a real good thing. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, A lot of money. When you have stock in a vax company, you'll become a good speaker. It's kind of cold, really. Yeah. We can talk about her later, but of the many doctors that have come forth, and a lot of them are women. There's one in particular, well, there's three actually I like, but Dr. Kelly Victory, like me as in Victory. If you look her up and listen to her, how do they get it? This beautiful mom of two, clueless how beautiful she is. She's on a Harvard board or something, and she consults Fortune 500 companies on health and all this stuff. And if you hear her talk, just a little bit on the vax for a second, on that kind of vax, right? Right. I mean, bodies get sick. Beings don't. Bodies get sick. Big difference, yeah. I mean, if you listen to her talk, you're not going to believe it. This social distancing, she says, no, verifiably, guys, actually, that's something a young person came up with in high school years ago to call something in school, and we're not real sure of the scientific or medical help that would be today. Yeah. She goes on to talk about other things that you know about, like these masks, or they prevent the lungs from kicking out those things. We've always been very grateful. They kick out, they hold it in, rebreathe it back, and some get sick and go to the hospital with a whatchamacallit, you see? Yeah. And all that. And then she talks about how it lands on hard surfaces. Again, just a little bit about the COVID. On hard surfaces, right? They talk about that and holds her a long time. She's, well, it really doesn't last long. But they don't have a mask or a vax for the hard surfaces. Nothing's being masked or vaxxed, guys. She says COVID, by the way, Kelly Victor says COVID, well, it's actually a very common flu. It's one of the weaker flus. And upwards of 20% of the common cold are COVID flus. When people get tested, sometimes they're picking up prior flus, or they'll test positive for a flu or this one, and then they test that person 4 or 5 more times, so that's 5 cases. But it's a person who wasn't even infected. I was at a hospital the other day, just a little bit about this guy, emergency room. I stopped in to say hi to someone. Jammed. You don't wait for an hour. No, it's hours, plural. You will wait. You will wait to be seen. Because a month ago, this new spook terrifying people about Delta, so they all go in the hospitals. And I'm talking to the guy that receives you on the intake. And he's one of them, and he's the kind that'll say, come on, people, wear your mask, keep it distance. He turned to me and he said, because he knew me, he said, you know, these priest people in the hospital for, they don't have to be here. They just scooped up the people that anybody currently with some whatever, and spooked them to death, and they're in the hospitals. Then we see the doctors in Palm Beach County. Have you seen this, guys? Yeah, it's actually terrible. It's completely terrible. 75 doctors, Florida, did a hospital walkout. It's a lie. They can't, before work they talked, or something, ended their shift, okay? They're protesting the unmasked or the unvaxxed are causing this big jam of people. We're exhausted. Yeah. And they're getting this from a preventable illness. And prevented by masks and vaccine. Yeah. And he goes on to talk, but the trouble is, these young and healthy people, what are they doing here, these young and healthy people? And he says, and they don't have any comorbidities. No, Dr. Kelly Victory says, listen to her. It's verifiable. Nearly everyone who died were 70 and older and had something else, heart, lung, cancer, liver, God knows. But the doctors were forced to put down certain things, a lot of money in that. You don't think so? Remember the big opioid crisis, the painkillers, the doctors lied? Millions of addicts, billions of profits. You don't think that was big? The giant companies, big pharma, the largest buyers of the media. We'll get back to the vaccines in a second. The largest buyers of the media and of Washington filed bankruptcy. It's for real. Doctors lied. Millions of addicts for billions in profits. Customers over carriers. No, doctors don't lie. Those doctors lied. We don't generalize. I like doctors. So, you're being lied to. Yeah. So, but the point is this. Before this crap, and counting this, and climate change, and whatever else, the evacuation, any bad news, right? You can become vaxxed. This is about you now. Well, still going to work. Yeah. Going to work, yeah. And handling the family and all those things. Yeah. You really, really can do all this. So there's a method to unkill life's layers. Now, the girl at Harvard was worried I was involved. So the more she knocked it, the better it sounded. A small percent are desperate to demonize it. Big Pharma has been paying some ex-actress or something on an independent TV channel to talk against it. Yeah. Because this thing investigated psychiatry for the drugging and shocking and all that, you know? Yeah. So that's why they demonize it. I have no need to demonize anybody. So here's what it is. When we went to school, this is a thing the girl at Harvard told me about. Went to school. We studied reading, writing, arithmetic, chemistry. No, I didn't do that. Science. Science is from the root skio, S-C-I-O, which means knowing in the fullest sense. Knowing in the fullest sense, okay? Yeah. And that is a good thing. So to know, okay? Knowing in the fullest sense, and then ology, study up. So study of knowingness, knowing how to know things, not being told or asked to believe. You see? Nothing wrong with beliefs or being told, but this is study of knowingness, knowing how to know things, not being told or asked to believe. And psychiatry is scared terribly of it because it looked into the little rascal that psychiatry's been being. Yeah. My goodness sakes. Okay, so you have the coined word skio to know, ology, study of Scientology. All this noise and crap. What is this? What's this concern? It's not a religion, no. It's a philosophy, which means pursuit of knowledge. And it's an applied philosophy because it has a method, and it's technically an applied religious philosophy. Okay? All right? That's what it is. And it's a religion based on the old and truest sense of the word. It addresses you as a spirit, not a body or a lab animal, as psychiatry has us being. So it is a religion, but a non-denominational thing. Applied religious philosophy. That's what it is. Okay? So it is a bona fide religion and only from the old and truest sense. Going way back. It says you're a being, not a body. We've been lost a bit. You know, we're told you are what you eat. Well, I suppose a diet will affect the body, right? And you only go around once. Well, this body, you know, I would think it's not going to go around a second time. But try not to call me one, okay? Because Buddha got those people to be outside of the body looking at it. Recall? I do. Yeah. Yep, I do. Okay. Yeah, and I used to call it the India rope trick. In India, it's not a trick. The commoners are sitting on a dirt road with their legs crossed. They're not magicians. And they can look at a rope and intend that the rope goes up. Well, we're not too into ropes, but I can tell you one thing. That guy didn't use a body, a physical thing, to make the physical thing move. These are things that all beings used to be able to do. And they're just buried. Some have layers of life different than others. That's a common thing in India. And then Buddha commonly got people to be outside the body looking at it. Have you ever thought of someone, remember this? You ever thought of someone and the phone rings, that was them calling? No, you. I mean, you're telling me now that that's happened to you. Don't pick on me, right? Well, only two things I can think of there. One, you picked up that they were going to call, and they called, or they realized you're thinking about them, and they called. I'm not talking about someone calling you. People can just call. No, I said, have you ever thought of someone? And suddenly they called, right? So bodies weren't involved until the guy decided to make his body, go and make the call, you see? Yeah. So also they talk about diet and exercise. Those are good things for the body, yeah. Okay? But they're also implying, I'm sure innocently without knowing it, that you won't have another body, you see? Yeah. Believe me, I know that. Now, some of you have this happen. I'm jealous. It never happened to me. I was never outside of the body. I was jealous. And finally, when it happened by getting rid of some of the layers of life, wow, I couldn't believe it. It's like heaven. No, it's not something you get. It's something you already have. Yeah, it's something you already have. It's unbelievable. Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, that's what this is. And this is not based on beliefs. Beliefs are fine, but this is based on knowingness. Knowingness. Okay. So there you go. So check this out. Free courses online that will enable you to steady the ship, to make you bulletproof, like handling sources of suppression. Again, sub means below, like a submarine. Press means to push. Suppress, to hold you down, to squash you, to make less of you, to make you feel uncertain about your reaching, you see? All for the imagined protection of the one doing it. The fancied protection of the suppressor. Yeah. It's in the book. This book is so good. By Hubbard. Introduction to Scientology Ethics. In there are some really key things, and those key things are online free. It's not a money thing. No, it's a nonprofit. I have no desperation to knock it. Why do I want to knock that? Yeah. Oh, don't worry. Remember about drugs, people. There's still 1.6 million uninsured addicts out on the street, dump-offs from psychiatry. They invent these illnesses, these disorders, and it doesn't cost the patient. The drugs are free. The insurance pays for the drugs, right? When that runs out, the guy's dumped on the street, both an addict and be leading bipolar of the toenail or the shoelace or something. Yeah. Mathematics, spiders, yeah. 374 of those in their manual. Check it out. The website, CCHR, Citizens Commission on Human Rights. It's in there. You're not going to believe it. Really decent, honest people, psychiatrists. They don't have this thing I'm telling you about, no. But they're decent, honest guys that will come forth, and they're on camera talking about how these psychiatrists, this is important, those psychiatrists, they just make that stuff up in their mind, those disorders, to get insurance money. Doctors are telling us. So we're not biased. No. Again, we're not prejudicial. No, prejudicial. We're not that. No. It's wrong. So guys, that's it. The book has things in there that are incredible. Yep. Introduction to Scientology Ethics. And this is non-denominational. The ethics actually and survival are used interchangeably, like a synonym. Different spelling, same thing. Yeah. An ethical decision is a survival-like decision. The survival-like decision is an ethical decision. You see? Yeah. So there you go. You have it. And again, there's 7.3 billion people on the planet. Very small percent know about this and have done this vaxing of the cells, right? That's still a few million. Yeah. When it's done, it's done. You're impervious to the junk. See, life has junk. You're not the junk. Even in your own junk, you're not that. We'll get rid of that, and then it won't be gathering others on top of it. You see? Yeah. You'll see. You'll find out. Yeah. You can go to one of those centers and get a free introductory session. Best thing is to get a free course online. Check it out, like handling sources of suppression. Yeah. How to improve conditions in life. conditioned. The guy that put this together, the Hubbard, he just observed things and wrote them up and gifted them to a nonprofit and for ethical distribution. Yeah, it's really, really quite nice, guys. I'm very grateful and happy that he has done this. I'm grateful for Heather for being concerned I might be involved. If somebody once said to me, so you're into Scientology. No, you can't get into it. No, it gets you out of things that you didn't know you're into if you want to with the how-to and the can-do. You have no idea, people. You have no idea how powerful this stuff is. No, how powerful you are. Yeah. It's just layers of light. A very beautiful woman named Celia, see that, wrote me a note. She runs the center in Miami. I don't know her last name. She sent me a book. I bought a book. And then she sent this little promo piece, this little brochure about some lectures by Hubbard. There's Hubbard. See him laughing? How unserious. You know, he's just a happy guy. Why do you want to knock a guy that helps people? You don't. Crazy people might. And she wrote this thing. Yeah. She wrote me this brochure. She wrote me this note saying, Robert, these are my very favorites. You know, have you watched these DVDs lately? Well, I've never watched them, these lectures, no. I know about them. So Hubbard writes here, he says, we're looking at the heart, and it's called the clearing Congress, to get clear. Stating clear means you no longer have that layer, that certain layer. We can't get into all the details of those things in this talk. Go to hear a talk on what it is. Go tour one of the big centers. Yeah, can't hurt you. No, don't be sold. No, don't you be sold. Buy, be a buyer, not a being sold. Crap on that. Hey, they don't get anything. No, you might. And it's negative gain. You get rid of things that aren't you. He says here, we're looking at the heart and the soul of the upper dynamics, the upper levels of life. You see? When we're looking at help. Help is the big button. Because this is the woof and warp of association. We people, right? A man is alive so long as he can help things and so long as he himself can be helped. You only need to be helped once. Get rid of the junk you don't know you have. Here's the big thing in here. This is so good. He says, this is an observation. To me, he seems to know how to comment on things in a way that are real to us. We've heard we've heard comments similar to this before, so it'll sound good. He says, little by little, through the ages, beings agreed to become inferior. You know, as we go through life in layers to bring us down, we agreed to become inferior, to become degraded, to become lowly and depraved, to become, well, human. Oh, you were above this level before, right? It took 76 trillion years to get that way. Because beings aren't physical, so time isn't the deal. And then he says, but it all ends here. You can get rid of that. It may sound unreal, but you know what the catch is? Hey, you don't pick on me. It's your crap. It's your junk. Yeah. Yeah. You can't imagine. He made comments like this. And again, I say, by the way, if something is good, is it bad? Comments like, and again, he said, do not believe any of this stuff. It's not a belief thing. Check it out. He says, if it isn't real for you, it isn't real. That's the way life should be. He's the fair guy. He says this, you're a great deal more able than anyone ever permitted you to believe. He also said, and by the way, I've been on both sides of this. I heard those things, these things I'll tell you, and then I had a chance to find them out. They're true. Your things are true. They only can do, they only are doing one thing. They're enabling you to find out things that you already knew. God. Yeah. And you want to get rid of those things, right? Looking for the happy moments, going fishing and, you know, you met your wife. No, we're looking at some things that aren't good. And he says, you're a giant. He points out. You'll find this out again. You'll find it out. You won't have to believe it. You're a giant who's allowed yourself to be tied down with cotton lint. You're agreed where it lies, supplied the ropes, and how to tie the knots. You know, blah, blah. And He said the only difficulty you'll have in a counseling session in getting rid of the ropes is your concern for others. That you're bad? No, roll it back. One, you're a giant. Number two, all beings are basically good. So it's not a concern that you're good. It's like you're a giant. Like a big dog, from England, a big Mastiff dog. She weighs 200 pounds, right? And she has a litter of puppies. Little. She has to be careful where she steps. Do you follow? Yeah. Is it because she's bad? No. She's big and they're little. And she's 200 and they're like 2 pounds. Ouch. Ouch. So guys, I'm just here telling you, we aren't making representations about Scientology. No. Obviously they must not know. They couldn't possibly know we're giving this talk. I didn't know we were. So, I like this. This guy is something else. I like this guy, Hubbard. Alan Hubbard. I do. Yeah. Yeah. I really like it. Yes. He says, the invitations to this thing, they sent out invitations. We did it here. Here then is a state of clear, where you no longer have that layer of life. There's one above that, but a big one with different parts. But, you know, the state of clear. Its dimensions, its freedoms, and its characteristics, what it's like. And nowhere is it so thoroughly laid out. Defining a clear in terms of freedoms from illnesses, from memory loss. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. People get sick for two reasons. One, they don't want to be a target for abuse anymore. No one kicks a dead dog. You see? The other is they feel they've done something wrong, and they have. They feel they have. And they will do something to stop the self from further harming others. Sideways proof you're good, if you ever did anything, right? Yeah. You are the jailer. You're the cop. Yeah. Karma isn't what goes around comes around. That's close. No. Karma is a self-inflicted hit to rid the good self, to rid the self of guilt. A self-arranged stop to stop the self from further harm. Self, my God, you're golden, you're good. And you can take, he says, these are things I got. These are takeaways. Go get this. Get this, guys. You can take any so-called criminal, someone who's doing criminal stuff, any so-called criminal, though, no, he did criminal, but don't call him a criminal. And do a rollback and find out when he had his self-respect literally beaten out of him. A drunken stepfather would have beaten, or mentally, which is injuries to the soul. That's all you are, by the way. You have a body, ouch, sticks and stones, but you're the soul. You are the soul. You don't have a soul, you are the soul. Yeah. You have a body, but you are the soul. So it was beaten out of him, so he finally said, okay, I'm no good. And when he has no self-respect, he has none for you. That's what happened. The basic is always the truth. You see, the truth. You. The junk later on are lies. You get to the truth, the basic, the lies blow. What's up? Sup. It works. Yeah, there's a lot of money, not to pick on them, a lot of money in doing things that aren't okay. Selling drugs, yeah. All those mass shooters so far, right? Did you know that they were on or dying trying to get off of psych drugs? Yeah. See the picture of the shooter? See that guy? No, that's not the shooter. No. It's called the guy in the background, the drug dealer in white coats. Yeah. It's so normalized and pop culturized, this oh my shrink. If all the drugs were gone off the streets, no more addicts, or the ones you buy to get addicted to it, no more addicts, all the drugs are gone by. Ready? We're all on a picnic, right? Oh, but every one of you, one of every 5 of you, and one of every 5 that they know, from preteen to age 65, just that bracket alone, 1 in 5 are on psychiatric drugs. A chemical straitjacket, a chemical, by the way, don't argue with me, guys. I've been doing this a long time. Don't do that to yourself. You can't hurt me. I've been vaxxed. I'm not anything. Got a body. You don't have to give up your body. God, no, want to do that. No, Buddha lets the people still have their body. You can let them do anything. They're in charge of their body. But you can get rid of things that aren't you. It's a big gulp to get all this back. Well, don't do a big gulp. Do a little thing. Free courses online. I cannot possibly, and I won't try, to communicate to you, you great people, yeah, how you have it made. So you can get vaxxed from life. Personally, you, okay, and your family, your friends, family, and entourage, yeah, you can get vaxxed from life, the junk of life. And then you're freer. Once you get rid of that, then you can deal with it, this societal connection, intertwinement, without you being effective at while you're dealing with it. But each person in it is getting rid of his, her stuff. Eventually, there is no more. But in the meantime, you can help a few. Just one guy. It was actually said that if just 10% of the planet got cleared, state of clear means without that type of mind that has collected things, okay? You're not that mind, no, but it's yours. If 10%, that's all, got clear, stated clear, we're all set. So an individual can make a difference just by his presence. Look at Ben & Jerry's, the ice cream guys. Ben & Jerry's is the largest seller ice cream. They're 800 and some million. They're Jews. You know, humans. Hey, saw what happened? They did the big Ben & Jerry. They closed their factory in Israel, in occupied Palestine, they called it. And no more sales there. No more. And there's some company that bought them out, their parent company, but it's them. That's it. No more. No more are we in any way in agreement with or in support of that occupied torture, mass murder, apartheid, unbribed U.S. billions. That's no more. Ben & Jerry's, they're from what? Jersey. New Jersey, aren't they? Yeah. They're humans. They're the best on earth. They're saving the Jews. Oh, they're attacked right away. Oh, my God. The Florida governor says, oh, well, hell. Florida will not be doing business with any of those people, you see, because the parent company had Ben & Jerry's, is it Unilever? I don't know, one of those companies, might have been Unilever. They have other things. Oh, Florida, with its investment fund, we'll get rid of all our investments. Right. What are you saying? You're against people who speak up about murder? Our dollars over there, our billions, killing people that did nothing. Sports shooting children in the eye, rubber-coated steel bullets, and getting points for it. Oh yeah, it's going on as we talk. George Floyd is the soundbite, right? The court of public opinion. There was no wiggle room. There it was on camera, knee on the neck, not enough minutes. A perfectly healthy guy would have been dead in 5 minutes, they say. So don't tell us about he was into drugs or used to be. I don't want to hear it. You killed him. Yeah. The George Floyd. We just killed 200 George Floyds in Palestine. Occupied Palestine. Before that went on, that bribed stealing of it, anybody lived there that wanted to. Yeah. Italians, Irish, Mormons. Did they have Mormons then? That's a book of the new guys, the later on guys, right? Arabs, what do you call those? Muslims, Jews. They all had a laugh. But somebody decided to do a play, make a play. Yeah. Yeah. You see? They didn't come in and make a play and take over the U.S. No, people from other countries are what the U.S. is, right? No one took it over. No. Well, we came in and killed the Indians and raped their women and stole their buffalo. Yeah, that was not so good. So if someone did come in, yes, us. Not a small thing. No, that's not a small thing. When you know something is wrong, you're right, it's wrong. Yeah. But good people are driven to do dumb things. See, some people, you've seen it, will treat others the way that they were treated. That's really kind of what's behind all this. You can find out without being told or asked to believe your own truth. See, everybody is is the author of their participation in this societal intertwinement, this universe. We are all the author of it. No, we didn't say bad or good. You came in, you, me, we, us, they. We came in, might have brought a game, in a good one or not good one, or joined in other games, some good, some not. We're the author of that. Okay, you can unpeel. And by the way, evolution, not revolution. Trump had some great things in his platform, but he had guys in his own West Wing that were against that. He isn't them, but he was responsible for putting them there. And Biden, some of Trump's people parachuted, well, right down into good old Biden's thing, yeah. But Biden, I got to tell you, the media just lied to us, didn't they? They said, oh, God, he's fixing to the deadline, and that's it. So if all his people die. No, he's not fixing to a deadline. One, now they have 80, it was 70,000 yesterday. No, it's, let's see, today's Thursday. On Tuesday, they had 70,000. By yesterday, 83,000 are out. And the Taliban are out there helping. And an interview with this Taliban leader, Richard Engel. Somebody had to interview him. Say, yeah, hey, listen, what about the way you guys treat women? No, that's the old guard. No more. No, those are our sisters. Someone let the truth out. Is this good? Oh, I'm taking this, guys. Check it out. It's in the news, right? And we want to have alliances and agreements with the U.S. Wow. Guys, that's good. They were forced to leak that out, you know. You see? All these warmongers. No, it's not all these. It's a small percent. Get this book. A lot of the heat of this book is in those free courses. Scientology courses online. Free, with a live person to walk you through. But there's other stuff in this book. I got to tell you, you will be, and if you can't afford it, some people are tight. It's $42 for this book. It's that, like, textbook quality, though. See the binding, all this? Those are the kind of books that cost $60, $70, $80. They sell it for the cost, $42, right? If you can't afford it, get a couple guys to chip in. You'll be glad it's made and built well. You'll be using this book a lot. I do. See, mine is showing a little wear here, this and that. This is my new one, yeah. See? Yeah, hey. I met with a woman. She came up to me at a gas station. And you know, we're waiting for our cars. And she looked like some really elegant, she's Jamaican, tall. I thought she was like 22 years old, some top college athlete, like one of the Williams sisters in tennis. She had stature, something, and she's coming at me. She saw a sticker on the car for some college. Wondered if I was from up in Jacksonville. No. University of North Florida. No, somebody put that on there. No. Huh. I got to talking, I thought she's more like in her 30s. You're like a doctor or a banker? Yeah, she's a banker. She was Trump's banker. Walking in every day in that office in New York, showing you the collateral. Real deal, yeah? I didn't realize what she walked from. She actually had parked around the side of me in her Mercedes. And this is Trump's banker. We got to talking. She's on the board of a foundation. She wanted me to be giving talks to the foundation. We spent a little time, showed her this book. I didn't know this. She took the book and she put it to this doctor, this woman doctor heading up the foundation, and said, listen to me. First of all, she asked her if she'd heard of Scientology. Well, yeah, but I couldn't understand it, so I didn't follow through. Oh, really? But the one I know, the banker, doesn't like the behavior of this woman. This woman hired lawyers to sue somebody that might have talked about this doctor, a whistleblower. She hired lawyers using foundation money to attack someone in the foundation for speaking up about it. This woman I met, who's Trump's banker, until he got elected, right? She took that book and put it right up and said, hey, what do you think of this? That book is an animal. You'll be an animal. Nobody will mess with you or your family or your friends. And in there, it reminds you, only a small percent will try. And they're cowards. They shatter in the presence of somebody with this stuff. Yeah. I'm telling you. Yeah. Yeah. A nice, this is a transcript, see, State of Man by Hubbard, of a lecture series. The State of Man courses. Fantastic. Yeah. Here's a lecture series, Clearing Success Congress lectures. Yeah, it's amazing what's in there. Yeah. Check it out, guys. Deductible, you know, you can, it's education or religious, you can write it off. It's not a big thing draft against your budget. No, it's free. So much is free. It wasn't when I got there. No, it's free. Those courses are priceless. We didn't have those at Harvard. Oh, my God. It's a different topic. So, vax for life. You can be vaxxed from the virus that life is. Lifeguard, the life vax. I just made this up. Get vaxxed from life. See, not for life, like that, from life. The junk of life. Yeah. Yeah. Do that. Get back the rest of you. Doctors say we're using about 1/100 of the brain. You've heard that, right? Well, those are the guys that have us as a lab animal. So they're saying we're a meat part of a meat body. Well, we got a meat body. It's got a brain. No, you're using about, and this number is very interesting. Remember this number. Don't believe it. Just remember it. You're actually using about 1/1000th of the beingness that you used to use, and you can have it back. It's underneath right there. I guarantee you this. We can't tell anything about you. I don't know how your day went today. Only you know, and you do know, and you can get them all back. But one thing, I know one thing. It's happened to everybody. When you do this unpeeling of life's layers, it holds you down and you don't know, you will be on the floor in pain laughing. I've seen it. That pain you just love to have. Yeah. It's unreal. Yeah. And only you will know it, but the country's made up of you and you and you. There you go. You see? Yeah, it works, guys. It really works. Yeah, it does. Try it. Check it out. We'll be back. This is Old Doc. Hold the old and push the doc. And I like that beautiful, classy Jamaican who put the wood to that doctor who was misbehaving, doing things she shouldn't at the foundation. When caught, somebody spoke up. She hired a lawyer on foundation money to attack the foundation worker. This Trump lawyer I know does not want any part of the foundation if that crap's going on. So she brought this little guideline that roots out the bad guy. Well, the bad guy is not a bad guy underneath. No, he's not. He's the good guy doing dumb things and hasn't stopped himself yet. It's called an ethics blind spot. They seek to and do place a false environment there, as proven by their brilliant return of perception when counseled at length and effectively on such, certain processes. Yeah. The bad names, like Hitler and all this stuff, right? And Castro, right? No, those are good people doing pretty bad things. Yeah. Yeah. Remember? Cubans didn't kill Cubans. Castro did, right? People molesting children are not priests. They're called people molesting children. That isn't being a priest, right? Jews didn't kill Jews. Hitler did. His name was Schicklgruber, a Jew, but that is not a Jew. Jews don't kill Jews. Come on. They don't kill anybody. I didn't know this. All the major religions have the same golden rule thing. I didn't know. A couple words apart. I didn't know this. What do I know everything? So I'm just here to share with you people my takeaway. They call these with a live stream or a podcast. Yeah. They show somebody in their car, like on Facebook, with a camera on them, looking at them, and they're talking while they're driving, right? Well, we're part of it. We're on the edge of civilization, downtown Palm Beach, Florida, the edge of the wilderness, you see? And here to tell you some things that we found. We're downloading to it. So the vax, you can become vaxxed from the virus of life. Life is great. But it's life plus viruses you didn't know you had. This other stuff will get handled. Biden's handling things, and I was never a Democrat, always a Republican, now I'm independent. Let me tell you something. I'm independent. You've got to maintain the right to tell the truth that you know. That guy is bringing things together. There's some errors, yeah. No, on the evacuation, God, they let him talk. I couldn't believe this talk. What? Hell, they'll extend it a little, because the guys helping them are the Taliban. They want to have new deals with the U.S. Okay? Forget that these Navy SEALs say to go and blow them up. I was a Marine. Don't go blowing people up. Work with them. We'll be back, people. Thanks so much. Enjoy the vaccination from life. We'll be back.